Hey guys, Dov here, coming at you with another video of state troops that no one ever uses, this time featuring Crossbowmen, which at 475 and 6 AP per shot, 160 range, are actually a really nice cost-effective skirmish unit. I'm surprised you don't see these guys more often. This is very similar to the sort of steam tank build, wide infantry build I did, except we've swapped many of the halberdiers for flagellants, upgraded the archers to crossbowmen. We got a cannon instead of a steam tank, and the arch-lector is changed for... Volkmar is changed for just an arch-lector here on horseback, and we've gone for a bit of fire synergy, Knights of the Blazing Sun, and a warrior priest on foot, giving all of these lads here fire damage. You can see Sigmar's Son, spearmen with shields, Tattersouls all ready to go with fire damage. So yeah, should be pretty decent there. A Rider of Rohan's coming in with some Dark Riders, that makes sense, and a wagon train here featuring Crone Hellebron. We've got a Bloodrack Shrine and a Death Hag as well. Some Black Ark Corsairs in the front line. They don't have a missile block chance, which is a bit tough, but they do trade very efficiently with most state troop infantry, so that's a little bit of a plus there. Witch Elves as well, they'll be good for the Enrage, and then of course Bleak Swords for some anti-large support, and already letting my cannon get picked off here. Not the best. We've been able to get some early damage in on the Death Hag there, but yeah, getting the cannon picked off by those Dark Riders, definitely not good for me. Nice pick by Rider of Rohan there. You can see though that the crossbow focus fire, I mean the AP damage is enough that they're going to be able to deal with these Corsairs pretty efficiently. Drop some of the buffs here, accidentally pop the Soul Fire, so, you know, just for intimidation factor, I guess. Popping the Soul Fire in front of them. Pistoliers, danger close. Knights of Blazing Sun also charge in. We're able to shatter this Death Hag here on that charge, although unfortunately they do get barely tagged here by a few Witch Elves and Enraged, so a little bit of a tough situation for me. They're going to be caught against those Dread Spears for some time, keep the Arch-Lector in a position to try and support, but the crossbows, trying to keep them protected with the halberdiers. I do have a couple of them in the back line, protecting against those Dark Riders, and just focus firing, you know, whatever I can here. Looks like we're still going after those Corsairs, but obviously Crone Hellebron right in front of us would be good. Come on, lads, fire in. Looks like the Dark Riders are going to be able to compromise this position, though, and start to get in and clean up some of these crossbowmen. As it is, though, a nice break in this front line. A Overcast Burning Head came in and led to all these Dark Elf units getting routed. That does mean I'm going to be able to free my Knights of Blazing Sun finally, and the Tattersouls and Flagellants can clean up the last of that engagement. Pistoliers, danger close with some Overwatch fire, trying to disengage the crossbowmen as well. I think, do they actually have fire damage right now? No, it looks like they're too far from the Arch-Lector. But the Halberdiers will hold the line. They'll do really nice damage to Hellebron, obviously, and I'm going to pull in with the Pistoliers just to block her mass in as much as possible, although I think she'd probably be able to pull through them anyway, but I'm really just trying my best to disengage these crossbowmen at the moment. A lot of my units routing away here, though. Those veteran spearmen routed away. These Halberdiers kind of hung out to dry in the front line, but thankfully Sigmar's Chosen standing firm. These Flagellants and the Sigmar's Sons, a nice charge from the Knights of Blazing Sun as well, able to extricate themselves, get a good timing push in here. Doing some good HP damage. Crone Hellebron is still fighting in this backline, still creating problems, but the Arch-Lector double hammers out, going witch hunting here. It's so thematic. This is just a very thematic battle, so credit to Rider of Rohan. We totally didn't plan this at all, but he just so happened to bring a kind of a witch wagon themed build. I had sort of a faith themed build in many aspects, you know, with the two priests and all the flagellants and such. But at this point, we're going to be able to secure this back line finally and get these crossbowmen online. All the Dark Riders having been routed away by juiced up Pistoliers. Gotta love that. Pistoliers with 44 flaming melee attacks. Yeah. Halberdiers also holding the front line. We've got this unit also kind of in reserve here. The Flagellants, last of them, just duking it out with these Witch Elves. This is what everyone wants to see. Scraggly naked dudes fighting witches, who are also less clothed. Yeah, makes sense. Ooh, those sound effects, man. Absolutely brutal. Creative Assembly does such a good job with the sound effects in this game. Honestly, I would like to take a moment to appreciate the sound design in this game and how complex, ridiculously complex. I can't even imagine the technology that goes into programming the sound for this game, like getting all of the levels right for all of the individual thousands of things happening at the same time across the battlefield, and like getting all the levels to be mixed correctly. And yeah, credit to the sound people at Creative Assembly. They do a great job, honestly. It is going to be a victory there for the state troops, and yeah, nice back and forth there. Rider Rohan able to get a few picks, like getting the cannon, just about got the crossbowman, able to get one of them down there. And you can see the Faith crew took damage for their efforts, but they were able to punch back hard. 79 kills on the Flagellants there, 83, 62 on an XP Chevron for the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Pretty key there. Honestly, the Bright Wizard also with some clutch burning heads, able to get some key routes on, like especially the Dark Elf infantry there, that was then able to free the Knights of the Blazing Sun to secure that backline. Otherwise, those Dark Riders probably could have finished off a lot of those crossbowmen. Hard to say. Pistoliers also kind of helping to secure against the Dark Riders. Absolute unsung heroes here of the Empire. For Rider Rohan, yeah, Crone Hellebron's an interesting choice against the Empire. Potentially vulnerable to AP missiles, but with a build like this, I think you definitely have some potential, a lot of light cavalry disruption. You've got the other two big armor-piercing, I guess not armor-piercing, but terror chariots to account for, right? So with these three, they'll have some targets to choose from. When Rider Rohan were talking in chat after, he had mentioned that he felt a little bit bad bringing the Black Ark Corsairs because they're not quite as tanky as he would have liked, and I think that, you know, maybe bringing two of them would have been okay, dropping one of them and maybe bringing a couple of Bleak Swords or even some more, I don't know, I guess you could bring like maybe one skirmish unit. It's tough to say. One of the advantages of the Empire here is your flexibility to go wide with different combinations of units, and like, because I'm pretty confident at winning the ranged fight here if I go, you know, heavily enough into it, and certainly crossbowmen will outtrade Dark Shards. We kind of have a look here. Dark Shards have a number of advantages over crossbowmen, just as kind of an end, I guess, to all of this. We can compare the crossbows to Dark Shards. Dawi crossbows are pretty similar, I think, but we'll kind of hold them for another day. But 475 for these guys is very cost-effective. You compare that to the 575 of Dark Shards, so 100 points less. They've got 35 more range, which is huge. That is absolutely massive. 160 range is actually pretty solid compared to a lot of archer units. They do a little bit less missile damage in total, and obviously quite a bit less AP, but some of that does come down to the multi-shot, right? 11 AP per shot is pretty decent, but considering they cost more, obviously they do have a little bit better stats. They have Murderous Prowess as well, which will give them a big damage spike while that's active, right? That has a missile damage component. Armor-piercing missile damage even gives them a little bit more melee attack. Not that that matters much, but yeah, I don't know. For me, the crossbowmen just seem really cost-effective. The range is also a huge advantage in their favor. They have a bit more ammunition as well, and the fact that on the Empire's roster you can do all of these various things, like in that build, I had a good amount of armor-piercing between the halberdiers and the crossbowmen. I felt like, while I didn't scale too heavily into it, against a faction like the Dark Elves that has a mix of light and heavy armor units, especially high-value units that are both light and heavy armor, having a sort of mixed build like I had there with the Flagellants for the non-AP damage, of course. Also, Knights of the Blazing Sun have a million reasons why you should take them in this matchup. Magic resistance, high charge, the fire synergy is also really good in this matchup, just because Elves tend to have low HP, that high charge especially. And yeah, magic resistance against Soul Stealer, Doomfire Warlocks, and so on. So yeah. Anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought there, gushing over Knights of the Blazing Sun and why you should bring them in this matchup. But the crossbowmen pretty solid. Oh yeah, damage. Something about fire damage. I don't know. Kindle Flame's good. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say here about this Empire build. I like crossbows. I think I'll probably be using them more. I like halberdiers. I think I'll probably be using them more, just kind of filtering in a little bit more variety in front lines. But yeah, the fact that you have so much, I think that's what I was talking about, right? Variety for the Empire. Just the fact that you have so many different options, you can really do many things and allocate different funds, different parts of your army. But yeah, yeah, that's what I was talking about. I had everything accounted for. Non-AP damage for the Knights of the Blazing Sun, the Flagellants also, of course, unbreakable non-AP damage. Have the AP damage of the crossbows and the halberdiers. Volkmar or not Volkmar, the Archlector and Volkmar both actually can be great support in similar ways. Warrior Priest, same thing. And yeah, I can't talk about fire synergy enough, honestly. And I do wish this Banner of Eternal Flame is something that more factions had access to. Like Warriors of Chaos, I think, and High Elves both, it would make a lot of sense for them to have access to it. High Elves and Warriors of Chaos already have quite a few units with innate magic damage. High Elves more so than Chaos, but it would help give them a little bit more options. Even Lizardmen too. Honestly, anyone with a Lore of Firecaster, in my opinion, any faction with a Lore of Firecaster, probably should also have a character, probably a different character that has Banner of Eternal Flame. Or you could even just give it to the Firecasters themselves, because that's kind of thematic in my opinion. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.